Good morning. I've been thinking somewhat about the Lord's Prayer, and I thought about the section that says, forgive others as we forgive them. Forgive us, I should say, as we forgive others. And that's really a truth that we all need to encompass in our life. I know that that was something that most of the inmates struggled with in prison, and it also is what many of us struggle with on the outside. But Norman Vincent Peale tells the story about coming to church every Sunday morning and sitting up in front was a very unhappy man. His face showed it. His lips were down. He was disguised. He was discouraged. He was hard to look at. And when Peale said when he came to service on Sunday morning, he never wanted to look at this man because this man really made him feel like he was a downer, and so he didn't want to look at him. But he was worried about him. But one day the man came to see Peale, and he said, Mr. Peale, he said, I'm so unhappy, and everybody else in the church seems happy. Are they really happy, or are they just putting on? And Peale said, well, I think they're happy. But he said, tell me about yourself. And so the man began to talk about himself. He said that he was in a business and that he had 5 competitors, and that they were all crooks and they were all ugly, and he hated every one of them, and he wished they'd all die. Well, Peale listened to him for a little longer as he continued to rant about his competitors, and finally he said to the man, he said, sir, he said, I can tell you what could make you happy, but you won't do it. And he said, what do you mean I won't do it? I said, you won't do it because I've been listening to you this morning, and there's no way in the world that you would do what you need to be happy. And the man got angry, and he said, I'll do it. And Peale said, I don't think you will, but here's what you got to do. I want you to go home, and every night when you get ready to go to bed, I want you to kneel down beside the bed, and I want you to pray for each one of your competitors, and I want you to ask God to bless them and give them more business than you'll have this next year. And the man got stormed up, and he was angry, and he walked out. And he said, you fooled me, but I'm going to do it. And so he went home, and he started to do this, and he prayed, and Peale watched him as he came to church. And as time went by, he began to discover that the man seemed happier. His face and his countenance changed, and he was able to smile, and his lips didn't fall down. They tended to at least be horizontal and sometimes grow up, and he seemed to be much happier. And one day the man came to see him, and he said, Mr. Peale, I just wanted to tell you that your prescription worked. He said, when I went home, I'd get down beside my bed, and I'd pray this prayer. And when I finished praying for a competitor, I'd stand up and I'd look at God and said, God, you know I don't mean it. I'm just talking to you, but I don't mean it. And he said, but I kept praying, I kept doing it, and it wasn't long before I really wanted to do it. I really enjoyed doing it. And he said, you know what, about the other day I met with 3 of my competitors, and they're all fine fellows, and I've got an appointment with the other 2, and I don't know what's going to happen. But he said, you know, I'm happy because I've discovered the fact that I need to pray for those that I don't like and those that use me wrong, and I need to be able to forgive. Wow, that's something that I need to learn even more, and I know we all do, because we all struggle with the idea of forgiving somebody that's wronged us, somebody that's done something bad to us, and yet if we don't forgive, we won't discover God. And so Jesus was saying, you know, you'll receive your forgiveness as you forgive somebody else. And so I'm praying this morning that I'll learn this lesson, because it's a lifelong lesson we have to learn, to be able to forgive and to pray for those that despitefully use us. And I hope you can begin to do that as I pray to God that I can.